XRP lands a historic victory against the SEC today. And we also have JP Morgan bullish that Bitcoin spot ETFs are going to be approved. What? And it's DCA Friday. We're going to take a close look at a well-known altcoin that might be getting ready for a massive move. All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement.
You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there, but if we do, that's kind of where we
We are going to show it all. Welcome all to the Blockchain Basement. We have a fantastic crew today. Hannah, glad to have you back. Everyone in the chat missed you yesterday, so it's good to have you back in the seat. It's Friday though. We're getting ready for the weekend. How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Fabulous Friday. Thank you for having me. I missed you guys.
Boom. Boom.
Happy to be back.
Who's looking at Powell? Taco, we're going to have to talk about that. How you doing though, Taco?
He was over here. Yeah, I was just talking about that before the
Carson.
show.
Yeah. How you feeling? How you doing, Taco?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
You seem like you had some remorse about Powell though. Like you were looking at Powell.
There's some talks in the office about it like a month ago, and I was just like, another random meme coin, and I should have paid more attention to it because it is. I think it's at an all-time high right now.
Yeah, it is. Okay, well, we might have to check that out. It's hard to move back into. We saw meme coin season kind of come and go. I know I was looking at Powell when it was first being talked about. Didn't really think much of it because I was kind of in the mindset to start buying and holding tokens, not being that kind of month or 2 month kind of hold and wait for it to go up cycle that was there for a moment in crypto. Aaron, are we going to hang out this weekend?
Should we?
I think we should.
Should we go to the gun range? Should we go shoot some guns?
I think we need to.
Pew pew.
I think we need to. I also was seeing some people calling in the chat or in message. I can't remember where I saw it, but a lot of people want me to build a shelter, basically one of those, bushcraft shelters. I might go and do that in the woods.
Are we going to be in your backyard this weekend digging a shelter?
That's what it kind of seems like.
I'll bring my shovel over.
A bomb shelter?
No, not a bomb shelter. No, just bushcraft shelter. How to cut a tree up and turn it into a little house. Create little fire systems or heating systems that might be able to prove to be very useful, but that's only for the very prepper focused person. So we're thinking about it.
Real quick. Have you guys when you're on YouTube at like 2 a.m, have you ever come across those guys that like live in the forest and they build like huts out of like mud?
Yes.
Yeah. And they don't say a word. They don't say a word either.
Yeah. They're like famous.
Yeah.
They're
awesome.
I think they got like a gold check mark from YouTube.
There's
They're
one
not
where
real.
they built like a whole pool.
Yeah. You don't think they're real on?
Yeah, the one that
As
not.
a scam?
It's confirmed. Yeah.
Confirmed.
Now,
Well, they should get one.
the ones where they're like digging massive like trenches in the ground of these like temples they make with like these hand tools, those are fake. Because you can see in some of the videos, there's like a lot of people, or there's like a
It seemed pretty
bulldozer
unbelievable
type thing.
Yeah,
I think that
look
guy in
the back.
Australia though, the one I remember from Australia, he's legit.
Is he? There's a couple of legit bushcrafters I follow that were out of Colorado. And it can be done. It's not pretty, but I think I might have to make a little lean-to in my forest behind my house. Just for demonstration purposes only. Maybe I'll throw a ghillie system over it and just leave it there as a little spider hole in case anyone wants to try to take my house over. But it's a good day in crypto. The markets are moving well. I'll pull up CoinMarketCap just for quick recap. Yesterday, I was calling we were going to hit 30K. It happened, but I did mention we're probably going to get slapped around right at around 30K, and that's exactly what appears to be occurring. So, booyah. Suck it. I had a hard-sided decision, and it happened. But now we're going to be slapped around in this 29.5 spot for a bit. It'll be awesome to see if we can hold this. It is DCA Friday, though. I'll go into I'm going to be looking at a channel that, or not a channel, but a crypto project that Nick's been telling me about for a long time. I've been watching it all the way since the last cycle. I didn't get into it, but I think now might be the time. So we'll be taking a look at that in a minute. But there's been a lot of really great news. XRP's major win against the SEC is kind of what's kicking off the excitedness, in my opinion, over the last day or two. This is from Eleanor Tourette, a great friend of the channel from Fox. So what are the next steps in the Ripple case? You're kind of laying it down here for us. Now that the SEC Gov has dropped the charges against Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, expect to see some litigation on the penalty phase between the two parties in regards to the appropriate penalty for Ripple's $700 million of institutional sales. So lawyers are telling Ripple that they will likely be able to reduce the penalty down, but the SEC will still want a substantial amount for bragging rights. They got to keep that funding going. So they're going to get a little bit of a slap on the wrist and a little payment, it looks like, to get out of the remainder of this lawsuit. They say to expect a big fight continuing, but note that the SEC can still appeal Judge Torres's decision regarding the programmatic sales and other distributions, that secondary market side that still is available to appeal for the SEC. Torres denied the agency's request for the interlocutory appeal on October 3rd, saying that they would have to wait until after the trial, which just did occur. So now that there's no trial, the SEC could potentially appeal after the penalty phase. But overall, calling for a big victory for Ripple and crypto industry as a whole, and another loss to add to the pile for SEC. And it feels damn good, man. I have been sitting here. I've been holding XRP for like 4 or 5 years now. It has been a long time coming in this lawsuit. So really good to see this little action against the SEC happening right now. We still have a long ways to go, as it notes, but this is the beginning of the tide beginning to turn for us. Brad Garlinghouse came out, just calling out today was an even better day. Ripple 3, SEC 0. In all seriousness, Chris and I, Brad Garlinghouse, were targeted by the SEC in a ruthless attempt to personally ruin us and the company so many have worked so hard to build over the last decade. The SEC repeatedly kept its eye off the ball while secretly meeting with the likes of SBF, failing again and again to protect the U.S. consumer and businesses. How many millions of taxpayer money were wasted in this process? Absolutely a good point to make there. Feels good to be finally vindicated. And we're not all the way out of the woodwork yet. Some of the thoughts that I had about XRP being around for 10 years, like a lot of people are like, oh, it's kind of played out or it's missing out. It's been very much kind of suppressed from this lawsuit over the last 3 years. I mean, Taco, are you still in on XRP at this point and seeing what they've done against the SEC, this big bad wolf? Now they've taken down at least 2 legs of it. There's only one left. Are you a buyer right now?
I've been a buyer in the last like 6, 7, actually ever since Vold turned off withdrawals. Yeah. I've been a buyer for XRP because I was just putting my XRP on there, and I think getting like 5-6% back. Looking back, I probably should have just self-custodied that because I'm getting back like a fourth of the XRP that I put in there. Yeah. So, and they're like 3 to 5 business days for you to get your XRP back because they finally opened withdrawals.
Yeah.
And it's been like a week, so I'm just patiently waiting to actually own my XRP now. And yeah, I'll still be buying. It's not one of my like crazy, like I want to hold this or have it be like one of my top cryptos, but I'll always have some on the side just because of this case. Yeah. And hoping for it to end in the Ripple's victory, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and I took it as like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. When I was looking at XRP, all these overlaps with central banks, a lot of people, how can you hold a banker coin or blah, blah, blah. I just literally only liked the fact that they were going up against the SEC. And that is what, basically, I mean, obviously I was paying attention to the project before on all their plans with FedNow and these central bank, connections. And I think there was the old U.S. Treasurer her name that's on the $100 bill was on the board of Ripple as well. So that there's a lot of kind of validating things and overlapping connections in XRP that you can look at. There's tons of content about all of these different things. But in general, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And when I see the SEC going after XRP, it's either that the SEC is trying to trick the American and the world public into thinking that it's going to go away because they have a bigger plan for it, or they're just literally going after the enemy of crypto. And either option, I'm down for. So that being said, I wanted to highlight something Pomp said in 2020, right as this stuff kicked
Before
off.
you highlight that,
What's that?
have you guys heard of Cryptonomy? From
Cryptonomy,
Gary's
no.
Guzzler?
I was hoping you would know the
What are your
answer
thoughts?
to that.
I haven't. I'm looking at their Twitter page. I'm gonna go to their website right now. Is it legit? Like, is it just
Cryptonomy?
another? Hey, put your crypto with us. We'll own it, and then we'll give you some back. Hopefully, we don't go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Stay away from it,
That
Taco.
scares
We've
me.
learned our lesson.
Yeah. And Steve-O, essentially, I mean, if it's going to be a CBDC project, there's a lot of problems with who is at the helm of governing the United States and really the World Bank and International Settlements and the IMF. I disagree with basically all their intentions, because I know even the ones that are painted as they mean well for humanity, it's really just more measures of control. So, but then you also think about people try to demonize weaponry in 2A, but it's not the weapon or the tool. It's if there's a psychopath behind the trigger. So in our current situation, yeah, I mean, there's some pretty dangerous implications for CBDCs. But again, that's why I'm fighting on the more political side, for people to be more outspoken and take their futures into their own hands in their local communities, and keep your locally elected leaders accountable, so that they can move that information on up through legislation and let the Congress and Senate know that the constituents, the people that they're supposed to be representing, are in disagreement with their intentions, and they don't want to be controlled by, if I say something wrong on the internet, the implications of what's being laid out right now, they'll be able to starve my family and myself out over the next decade if we don't do something now. They got very close to it last flu season. And to my bewilderment, the majority of people went along with it. So, for God's sakes, wake people up. Share the information. This stuff is worth fighting for. It's do or die, man. We have a really amazing chance to turn things around right now, but it's not going to be easy. And Pomp, dancing on XRP when it did initially get that lawsuit for Ripple rolled out at the end part of 2020. It's just a reminder. He said, "Good morning to everyone except the people who thought that they could sell unregistered securities and get away with it." Well, that didn't age too well. But even just dancing on the grave of competing cryptocurrency projects, not only is that a waste of time and creates useless infighting and distraction within the cryptocurrency community, thus making us powerless because a people divided is a people that will be conquered, but also it's just bad taste. You now look like a complete jackass. So I'll just call you out on that one. And then we have Library conceding to total shutdown, citing losses to the SEC and its millions of dollars in debt. A casualty of this battle against the SEC and what is a security, and Library just didn't have the financial bandwidth to fight the SEC to the degree that Ripple did. And again, in my opinion, the only reason that Ripple had that financial power to fight back like we've seen is because they've been around for 10 years. They've been proven for 10 years. And yeah, it's JavaScript and centralized and all this stuff. And people that say it's not, I mean, there is controls that are built into it, just like there are controls with consensus and your MetaMask, right? There's controls within Ethereum. So it's about making sure that the people behind the controls know that you're watching and keep them accountable. That's what this all boils down to. Stop the infighting, stop being distracted, point your weapons to snow. That is what needs to happen here. Stop the infighting. It just leaves you powerless when they come to take you over. We see this with Thor as well. SEC, this came out, I think it was today. SEC is crushing Thor Technologies in $2.6 million fraud case win. Here is the handyman himself.
Oh gosh,
It's actually a pretty good picture.
I know this is.
It looks like his photo was
the
just
bloody
photoshopped on
hands.
there.
Yeah,
but-
this is pretty intense right there.
Yeah.
That invokes emotions. The ongoing crypto crackdown in the U.S. has seen Thor Technology and the company's founder, David Chin, suffer a huge setback in a court about a multi-million-dollar fraud allegation from a reported offering of unregistered securities. Again, this gray area. In the October 18th ruling, the court granted a default judgment in favor of the SEC on all charges the regulator brought against Chin, which very much sucks. Hate to see this happening. I love what Thor's trying to do. So
let me see if I can wrap my head around this. So the creator of this, people that were using Thorchain for criminal activity are like whatever, but they're going to go after the guy who created Thor.
Yeah. It is very similar to what we saw with Tornado Cash, right? They're trying to make, it's the same thing you see
in Silk Road.
The lawsuit against Remington. When a Remington piece, I don't even want to say the word because of all the controls, but a pew-pew from Remington is used in a crime that's already illegal. Now they're trying to open it up so they can sue Remington, right? They're trying. This is the punishment of the mainstream middle class person for the actions of a few bad actors like Lazarus Group or hackers out of North Korea. They're trying to paint crypto and these mixer systems or decentralized swaps into that realm of naughty boy, and it's going to be continue to pushed on the American public. And again, I fear that
Elizabeth Warren going after all this crypto that's supposedly being sent to fund this war. And I think I don't know if this is true, but I saw it was like $2,000 worth of Bitcoin. So we're paying politicians our taxpayer dollars to go after $2,000 worth of crypto.
Right.
Bro, Elizabeth Warren tweeted, "Crypto funds the opioid epidemic."
Absolutely.
I'm like, girl. Yeah. Big pharma.
Yeah. But you can't go up against them, right? Crypto's the easy one to pick on and move the blame down the road. Yeah. And, so it's just really aggravating. You see that obviously they're still highlighting their Securities Act of 1933 out of this as a justification of what is a security, even though crypto came out in 2008 officially.
Do you know what's like really crazy? Sorry to keep cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
But it's like, they can't go after like Satoshi Nakamoto. They can't go after the creator of Bitcoin. Oh, let's find another blockchain where people are doing criminal activity. Oh, okay. Well, hey, we know the creator of this coin. Yeah, we could go after him.
Right. Because he was doxxed.
So
he was
backwards.
black baggable. Yeah, it's very aggravating.
Crypto Stevo said, is Thor different than Thorchain Rune?
Yeah, well, you have Thor Swap and then you have Rune, the token. So,
but it's the Thorchain blockchain, and that's their native token.
Right, exactly. And according to this, Thor and Chin will each have to pay penalties of $150,000, while Thor will pay a disgorgement of $740,000 with prejudgment interest of $158,000. So just more money shakedown for their slew of offices all across the country. And while they're doing this, they're ignoring the fact that the banking system is about to break from mortgage-backed securities that banks are holding as the interest rates from the Fed continue to have considerably skyrocketed over the last year. And they're probably, in my opinion, done because they know they're about to kill the banking sector. So they're going to probably have to pull back a bit, even though Jerome Powell says it's hawkish and he's so scary. He said it himself today. It's unsustainable, just in a very small little snippet of the release that came out. So all that being said, all this scary stuff within the SEC, and is it okay? We have some of the, okay, so for context of what JP Morgan is, the U.S. went through a financial crisis in 1890s, right around 1895. JP Morgan essentially held the American economy up for 10 years, right? And then up until 1905, JP Morgan accounted for 40% of all American capital. Then you have the creation of the Federal Reserve, incidentally, after all the opponents of it get just killed or die on the Titanic, 1912. 1913, Jekyll Island happens. JP Morgan, major proponent because, in my opinion, he didn't want to continue holding up the financial system of America. He wanted to do it from the back end and stop being in front of the public eye. Well, they just came out, and JP Morgan now expects an SEC approval on multiple spot Bitcoins within months. And the reason why I know we talk about, oh my God, we get promised an SEC approval for the spot Bitcoin all the time. This means a lot more because JP Morgan is well well solidified into the financial sector of the United States. And if you don't understand that, you have to learn your history, deep history, to understand that. But according to analysts at JP Morgan, the SEC will likely approve several spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds. I hate how they get paid by the word. So they just keep going in the next coming months. Per the analyst, Grayscale's popular Bitcoin fund, GPTC, would face fee pressures. On the other hand, it may also see its trading discount versus the net asset value disappear as an ETF. And while the precise timing is still uncertain, the tone for financial institutions indicates confidence is rising on long-awaited spot Bitcoin ETF approvals materializing in 2023 after years of setbacks. And now, the reason why this means a lot for me is because I assume that we can't have nice things. I assume that we might see the same arbitrage with Bitcoin that we saw with gold. I talked about that yesterday. And now that I see JP Morgan kind of pushing this buck forward on top of BlackRock pretty outwardly pushing this forward, it's making me a little bit more bullish on our overall market cap potential for the next bull run. We hit $3 trillion as a total market cap, or just under, last bull run. Keeping diminished returns in mind, my reasonable expectations out of what I should see out of altcoins that I feel like are going to be around by that mid-2025 timeframe, I set that expectation level right at around $5 trillion for us to top out at. But now I might have to rethink and do some more bullish mindset scenarios for these altcoins. Most of what I showed about Chainlink yesterday and my price prediction for it somewhere around the 120 to 140 range is based around the crypto market cap only topping out at around $5 trillion in total the next bull market. There's many people that call out for 10 trillion. And if I'm wrong about it and we do go to 10 trillion, guess what? I've done better than I expected and I'm wrong in the right direction, right? It's better to be wrong in the right direction than get wrecked by having your eyes in the sky thinking that Ethereum is going to be a $100,000 next bull market because all this institution and all this stuff is happening. All we need is just a pinch of narrative coming back into the mainstream media. We are a toenail compared to an elephant as far as what the market is made up of right now. So keep that in mind.
I got a question for you guys. Yeah. I believe in the last bull market high, Ethereum was 0.08 of a Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. Do you think we're going to get to 0.1, 0.2, 0.5? You think one ETH is going to be worth half as much as one Bitcoin at the top of the next market?
No.
What are you guys' thoughts?
No.
Do you think we'll even get to 0.08 again?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin in the next bull market. But in essence, I'm feeling like Bitcoin in my level-headed, just rinse and repeat, diminished returns, not super bullish scenario for Bitcoin to land in between 90 to 130,000 a coin. For Ethereum, I'm looking somewhere in the 8, maybe 12,000 range, but we got to see the usage of Ethereum really kick back up. That excitement and those Paraguays go way back up. Just because since it merged, it's kind of reliant on that excitement to come back into it. And I don't think it's going away anywhere. But
this just popped into my head, but it kind of on what you're saying about network activity. Mm. When new protocols get launched on the Ethereum mainnet, the gas optimization might be terrible. Yeah. Like that, you saw that with a lot of NFT projects.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with lines of code, the more code you can kind of equate to more of a transactional cost. Mm-hmm. So if all these new companies, all these new smart contracts are being launched, I feel like that's going to skyrocket the ETH transactional cost because they're not optimized yet.
Yes.
So it's kind of and that's where kind of Chainlink comes into play.
Absolutely.
Where you need the Oracle to read all this data and present it to you so you understand it. And I believe it's still a couple Chainlink to even kind of pay for that transactional ability to read the data.
Yeah. So, I gotta hold off on how bullish I am on Chainlink. I'm overly
don't get
bullish.
them started, please.
I know. I will not stop.
We stopped the show yesterday and went outside and still talked about Chainlink.
I couldn't stop.
I'm not upset about it.
I saw someone say they're hey, no more deep coin picks. I'll bring one out of the woodworks. C3.
C3? Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. It's a Cardano Oracle. Mm-hmm. maybe some potential there.
Yes,
it's in a valley, and it seems to be going up, down,
That's
up,
a
down.
good point. That's a good
if you want to bring up the chart and see what
is it on Tab Tools or is it on
Yes, sir.
all right, I'll
talked
pull up
about
Tab
this in
Tools.
the
Give
past
me a second.
before. No, C3.
I've talked about C3 a few times.
I feel like I've heard about it.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
It always takes me right to Sneck. It knows me so well.
Snack.
Schneck.
But if you want some like deep altcoin picks, check out Cardano DeFi.
Yeah. Well, and you have an interesting thought on the Oracle narrative. Like if Chainlink does achieve what I do think it is going to achieve, people are going to be digging around in other layer ones for oracles that kind of try to do the same thing in those ecosystems. I don't think Cardano's going anywhere. Don't think it's, going to go to $10, but I could see $3 to $5 for sure. Now this chart, this looks like most of your meme coins right now.
It's been it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So like, see if you can condense the chart a bit.
Yeah, let's see here.
It's the top D.
I'm trying to. I never use this thing here. Let's see here. Let's go to the week. Let's see.
See that? See that? That's what
That's
I'm talking
not
about.
bad.
Wow.
Peak Valley.
That's
Little
not bad.
Peak Valley.
Oh,
Big Peak Valley. I'm not a betting man,
Okay.
but actually I am
Okay.
a betting man.
I see you. Look
I'll
at
take that bet any day
I
of the
see
week.
you. This is great. I might have to not do milk and get this one instead.
Yeah,
This is
milk's been
looking
on
great.
a tear. Milk
Is on a tear. I know.
Dairy milk?
Dairy
No.
milk's
We talked about this on one of the shows before. It's a meme coin, right? Milk,
It's the
Malk,
Milkamita muesli swaps. I think
Mm-hmm.
I could be BJ.
Yeah, I know. We need BJ is like our Cardano ecosystem expert, but this in general, if I'm just looking at it from just my hillbilly TA, it had some chop here. It held and then lost this. It had some chop here, then it bottomed here, bottom there. This could be its next bottom. Oh my God. Taco, have you done it again?
Okay, milk's not a meme apparently.
Yeah,
Sorry.
And looking
Sorry.
at this risk reward, hey, it goes down maybe 50%, but it could go up a bajillion percent.
A bajillion percent.
And that is on the dot, bajillion.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
I'm bullish.
It excites me when you bring these deep picks up because I remember Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic Inu at like $3 million market cap. That was incredible.
Yeah, that one's still staying alive.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for it to come back down. Same with Jesus Coin,
The
but
meme will never die. Memes never die, folks.
and I had a thought. I think that Pepe should help this man out. So Alex Jones can't get out of bankruptcy. He's going to have to, it looks like, pay $1.1 billion. So here's my hot take. Pepe, you would be nothing without Alex Jones. He let everyone know about the frogs. That's why Pepe, in my opinion, did amazing. Beyond all the
That is a
4chan,
hot
all the
take.
BS, I think that Alex Jones deserves a leg up from the Pepe community because, by God, he forged the land of which we walk upon. So
Yeah, there's deep lore to Pepe.
there is deep lore
There's
to
some
Pepe.
like Joe Rogan clip about it. I
Yes.
recommend.
I mean, it's been an
Googling
internet
it.
thing before the actual.
No, it's a real life
project,
thing
so-
too.
Kiki is like tied into it.
Yeah, what do you got?
Kiki. I don't know. Tim told me something about Pepe. Like it originated from a website.
Here
And
we go.
it was supposedly like bad. But
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just like been a funny meme in Discord for me. The lore is crazy. I don't even know it.
I mean, it's been in like the gaming community, Twitch
that's
like
all I
community
knew.
for a
It's
long
been
time,
around for a
Discord,
while.
whatever.
Ever since Astrazine, I've seen it.
Yeah, muesli swap.
when
vibes,
it was deemed, I don't even want to say the word, but the ACLU or one of those NGOs basically labeled it as a hateful thing for some reason. Somehow they worked an image of a frog into that realm, and it was all, in my opinion, starting after the Astrazine call. So just think about it. If you hit $1 billion long win, keep Alex Jones in mind. Now, in the realm of things that get Drew pissed off,
Oh boy.
Biden is asking Congress for $106 billion for Ukraine, Israel, and he sprinkled in the U.S.
Oh,
border.
U.S. border.
So
What
now
about it?
I'm getting less angry.
I've seen some fun videos of the border.
Did you guys see his speech last night at 8 p.m.?
No, I don't. I know.
This was the model that has like that angry look. It almost looks like Hellraiser poltergeist.
Oh,
Or poltergeist guy. This is what it reminded
that's
me
not
of.
photoshopped of him.
This is Photoshop.
Okay,
This
I was about
is
to say
the-
that looks good.
This is the OG, but they look.
I can't see 'cause the cameras.
Strikingly similar there. So,
Dear God.
Biden was out there talking about how we need to go to war with all these people, and sprinkled in a little bit of border security talks.
You
Lord
probably
knows we
covered
need
this. You probably covered this maybe like a few days ago, but Janet Yellen saying, "Oh, we could fund another war."
Absolutely. And how heartless is it? Think about it. Okay, so all right, Biden, we know this. He's actually asked for, I don't even have the story up here. He's asking for an additional $60 billion today. He asked for this yesterday, okay? Just to wrap your head around how fast the U.S. deficit is going to grow and is growing right now. He asked that yesterday, and he asked for $60 billion more today. And now we think about Janet Yellen saying, oh, we can comfortably afford more conflict, more wars, right? She can afford conflict because it's not her that's going to have to fight it. It's the middle and lower class that really suffer when you perpetrate these wars with never-ending money printing. This is the problem with these disconnected elected leaders that are completely, they don't give a I'm about to start cursing. All right, so they don't care about you. You need to make them care about what you think about what they're doing. That's where we are right now. It's not going to be easy, but they need to know. You are still powerful. We, the people, are still powerful. They've taken that away, tried to kind of consolidate us down to these funnels of information where then you end up with people reading something about Pepe and it's an evil thing, right? This is the danger. You need to let them know. We're watching. We're not going to stand for it. We're going to be able to transact, and you should not start a war that our children are going to have to fight for decades. It's wrong. And Janet Yellen, she's not worried about it at all because they don't have to deal with it. The elite are never worried about war. They actually make money off of it. That's how they move the world forward as far as their markets. If you look at the Dow Jones and every conflict that is you got Korea, you got Vietnam, you got World War II, World War I. Look at the Dow Jones in comparison to that, and you will see what I'm talking about. Look at it from a far view. And, so now they've said, oh, crypto going to Hamas, that's terrorist activity, that's bad news, bears, crypto is so bad. And they're using crypto aid for Israel that receives $185,000 for over 30 Web3 firms for emergency relief. Now, I'm not saying that this relief is bad, but the relief on the other side, this is definitely picking sides. And you can see how this narrative is being built where this is positive, yet the other side, hyper negative, right? And remember it's very bad, right? And you remember when OFAC turned off Iranians' ability to transact on Ethereum overnight. All I had to do is get asked for. And so this is happening. Everyone across the world should have the right to transact. Once you commit a crime, then you get investigated. You're not guilty. You're not presumed guilty. That's not how this should work. And I don't think that the narrative that's being built up against us is anything that anyone should just, that'll go away in a little bit. Like, no, it won't. This is going to continue to be pushed forward to the point where anyone, we have election season coming up. What do you think that they're going to do in calling the opposing party what they've already called them, right? They're a threat. So this is a continuing narrative that gets pushed forward. Now I get something that calmed me down. Elon Musk is helping out a little bit. He's obviously opened up the realm of Twitter for me to be able to express myself, but he also has removed New York Times verification badge following a flood of false information it posted about Israel and Gaza. Yes, I am here for it. And maybe if they get slapped around a little bit like this and, realize that, hey, the public sphere isn't really going to trust us if we continue to lie and it's exposed, maybe some things will change for the better. I do have hope for that. Maybe he's saying all the right things to make people like me feel more comfortable on X and saying what my opinion are. Maybe it's all a psyop, but we got to take our chance because, I'm tired of being quiet. I stayed really quiet over flu season. After trying to express myself in 2020, everything was deleted in real time. Even memes with no words were deleted and causing my account to get taken out in real time. So I saw that happening. I stayed quiet for like a year, maybe 2 years, because essentially my mindset was like, okay, if this is going to try to be enforced, I'm going to get myself on the enforcement side to make sure I am staying true to the Constitution of the United States, not what unelected bureaucrats and NGOs tell me to do. I positioned myself in that. Then crypto changed my life for the better. Got here. That's
He's
my
back,
story,
baby.
That's right.
He's back.
I'm back. You know,
The truth.
I stayed very quiet, and even the most aggravating thing, I was writing music about what was happening, and even my band was trying to self-censor, and that really was like kind of my tipping point where I was just like, you know what? If I can't even write poems or lyrics about what's happening, because that was my last avenue of availability that hadn't been banned. Once that was taken away, I just threw it to the wind because my God, the people need to hear and the people need to know. And music was how I did it before, but I realized I like crypto a lot, and I've really bugged people at work with my ranting about crypto. So might as well get into
Early
it
in
full
the morning,
time.
he came in ranting.
I know, every morning.
I just sit there and listen and smile.
So I've talked about something called real world assets for a while now. It looks like the narrative in and of itself before the actuality is starting to pick up steam. We had this from Satoshi Flipper calling out real world assets will hit $3 trillion by 2030. Now, obviously that's pretty far out, but it's a very small market as of right now. Keep this in mind. We are only at a $350 million total market cap for hyper-focused RWA projects. Keep that in mind. So TradFi and blockchain tech, as they marry, this will also be shown as Chainlink is running, and this is referencing the fact that Chainlink is a data oracle, providing that live time information so these institutions don't get arbitraged. This is just a graph from TW Group or TWP Group. FT buybacks, tokenized RWAs are set to reach a 3 trillion market cap. And this just gives the overall growth for their both bull market projections. This is great. You know what I mean? This is the hyper bullish, like actuality implementation, but I am keeping it level headed and thinking about just the narrative to keep things alive, right? And we look at what is the narrative? What's the narrative for a crypto? I've been listening to smart people for a long time, feel very bullish about this thing. It's Avalanche. And here's why I feel good. It's not because of the AWS partnership. It is not that. It is because they're moving into this tokenization of assets realm. So Avalanche is ahead of the curve with an important trend in crypto and blockchain space, asset tokenization. That might sound like a mouthful, and it is. Guarantee you it is. I try to tell people all about it, and I get tongue-tied all the time. But it all means that this transformation of real-world assets, such as stocks and bonds, into digital assets can be managed and traded on the blockchain. And they are actually they're testing this in front of the entire public right now. We saw Swift admit that they are working alongside with the Australia Central Bank in Chainlink to do this and make this happen. Now, Avalanche, another step down. It's a little bit behind the buck. It's not in the public sphere right now, but I'm telling you it's coming. So once these assets are in the digital form, a number of efficiencies will emerge related to scalability, liquidity, and fractionalization. And now this, I just want to highlight something that comes to mind for the efficiencies emerging from these real world assets. Right now, we're seeing treasuries being sold by things like MakerDAO's stake DAI token. You can get involved with purchasing treasuries from stable coins. And that's absolutely insane when you think about the implications of a government that's having trouble offloading the treasuries currently, having to raise the returns on them at breakneck speed. And now they're getting another avenue where they can get people across the world exposed to those investments. And yeah, treasuries are probably a pretty decent thing to look at in the short term because they are at definite highs, but they will have to come back down as the market corrects itself. So Avalanche getting ahead of the tokenization of assets niche or narrative. Then we look at the price action. What's the price action look like? This thing is at $9 flat. So just a nice flat number. I did not plan this. Let's see. Let's update the 925. Okay. Moved a little bit since I put this together. So right now it has a $3.2 billion market cap, just about. Circulating supply as it sits right now, I'll pull this down. You can see here is 354 million AVAX are out there to be getting. And the fully diluted market cap sits at 6.6 billion token or $6.6 billion. So we're going to look at the token unlocks, right? So the time frame, this is why I kind of am feeling really excited about this thing. This is where we are at right now. And you can tell that by mid 2025, things start to flatten out as far as the tokenomics of it, the releases of it. Now, if we go to the projected mid 2025 realm, which is what I'm basing the 4-year cycle of, there should be right around 500 million of these things circulating at that time. So we go back, we look at the market cap. Where did it top out at? Let's go to the all-time. We got just under $30 billion, right? So I'm keeping a level head. I'm only expecting, even without real world assets coming true or without the Bitcoin spot ETF happening and all this just amazingness, I do expect our overall market cap for crypto to hit 5 trillion. So let's take a look at what would a 5x from its current fully diluted market cap look like. So we have a fully diluted right at, what was it, $6.6 billion, right? We go over here, we go to Coin Perspective, absolutely the best place in the world for moon math. You got your Avalanche chosen. Now, don't set any of your targets. Go down to reality here first. You type in how many tokens are going to be in circulation by the time of the next real peak of the bull run, if everything goes according to history, because that's the best thing that we have to base off of in crypto. But should everything continue as normal, diminished returns happen to a degree, we top out at 5 trillion overall. If this thing just keeps the lights on and keeps its position in front of the public sphere, it should hit right around a $30 billion market cap from where it sits right now, which would bring the price right at about $68 per coin. Now, yeah, that's not a 10,000x, it's not 1,000x, not even 100x, but I really feel like Avalanche is going to be a strong competitor in the next bull market. So I am probably going to have to buy some right now, actually. I'm going to buy some right now.
He went into Nick's office and apologized.
Yeah, I did. I said, I'm sorry I've been fading you. I'm sorry I had to wait till your bags were super low before I filled my bags up, but it's the way she goes. But he's probably going to be a bigger winner than I am in Avalanche because he's been holding for a lot longer.
Yes.
And, consistently DCAing, lowering his entry points. And that's kind of what you got to do. That's a good lesson for if you see a great project during the next bull market and you do buy at the top, just remember, if you actually continue to DCA when those red candles really do come, you can lower that initial entry point by a lot. So
you don't think AVAX is going to go above its all-time high of last bull run?
Because
I believe it was like 145 or something.
I'm saying this is what my baseline expectations. I like to start.
So your baseline is the baseline, $68.
Yes, the baseline.
Let's make it 69. Why not?
If a Bitcoin ETF gets approved and real world assets get pushed into the actual use case of what they're meant to do, absolutely, we could. I wouldn't. 300 would be very obtainable if we see a $10 trillion market cap or an $8 trillion market cap. But I like to just keep it level-headed and cap it at 5 trillion. And if things go well from there, we're extra winning. But I'm going to go ahead and buy some of this right now.
Nice. A lot of people in chat are talking about Gala, whatever you want to call it. How do y'all feel about that?
I feel like they fell off, but
yeah.
Didn't something happen?
I think the two head guys are like.
There's some questions
are
about
bashing
leadership
right now.
there. Yeah, because both of them were saying each one of them is a scammer. So someone's
That's
right.
always great.
Right.
the Spider-Man meme.
I was bullish on it because I went to Galaverse in Las Vegas and it was freaking awesome.
It looked really cool.
It was
Gala
so
had
fun.
the narrative, man, and it was like a place where I think that's where it's just more of an ecosystem to build upon. But they just were at the right place at the right time. That's why I emphasize the word narrative. Right, we want to build our baseline expectations out of these things, off of kind of the lowest, and then build up from there. If it doesn't go any better than what we're expecting, and it just kind of lingers around and recaptures its previous, then that's great. But you have a more sound mindset and you're not losing your head when it happens. What you got?
That's what it was. They had like a V2 and didn't everyone have to migrate. And if you
They
were
did
late,
do that
you
as well.
lost your coins or something.
They did do that as well. There's there's a little rough.
It's never a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
A little rough.
I feel like if a project needs to come out with a new token, they're going to need to make that like an extended process, not something that is just like a 1 month period.
No,
because
absolutely.
You see people leave crypto all the time. And they come back a year, 2 years later, and they're like, oh, where'd my coins go?
Dude, that Reddit problem too. That Reddit thing just happened. We have a pair of Reddit mods that appear to have sold off tokens ahead of an announcement to terminate the blockchain-based program. Kind of a loaded situation here. So on-chain analysts noted that the apparent insiders connected to Reddit crypto subreddit seem to have sold off significant quantities of moons the forum's own cryptocurrency. So before Reddit publicly announced the plans to discontinue, that's the thing, is they sold them before Reddit publicly announced the plans to discontinue the community points program. Right.
If you were a big brain, though, you would have known their contract address for their coins, and then you could have like, oh, they sold, I'm going to sell now.
That's why I'm excited to have Joshua Jake in the back in on this show whenever he gets a chance, because he was awesome about live watching those order books and kind of catching who's dumping and who's not. Right, it was very cool. He was awesome at that. I can't wait to see him again, because that was some alpha. But despite the claims from subreddit moderators that they had been unaware of Reddit's impending decision, blockchain data suggests a different tale. Wallets seemingly connected to these moderators unloaded substantial amounts of Moon tokens minutes before Reddit's announcement at 1:02 p.m. on October 17th.
Yikes.
Yeah. So both Mick Gilby, and the writer of The Storm have sold out their tokens worth over $92,000.
So with Moon, was it just like a point system on Reddit? I really don't know anything about the Moon.
No, I mean, it was a Reddit cryptocurrency that I think you got paid from community involvement. Like if it was almost like a,
like as if you left
crypto
comments and
social.
stuff. Did you get points or something? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's
and
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Sense of social fi almost.
Yes, you could get up votes, you could get noticed by the community, then you get you get rewards. So it was a very cool idea.
Okay, so that's what I thought it was.
Right. Moderators were given 1 hour prior notification. So these moderators issued a statement at 1:07 p.m. from their shared account 5 minutes after Reddit's public announcement, indicating that they were informed about the discontinuation and, basically just kind of got ahead of it a little bit. Points were never intended to have any monetary value, and buying and selling and trading the points has always been a violation of their terms for products. So in general, it's just a violation for them to be selling. What a gray area, though.
That is tough.
Wait a second. So they came out with this coin, they rewarded users, and then who provided the liquidity and how did they start trading it?
We should find that out. We should find out where that liquidity pool came from. You know what I mean? Because like I saw the Reddit crypto kind of pop up out of nowhere. It made sense what they're aiming for, but it wasn't anything I got really interested in investing into. I was just trying to interact with the Reddit community and get points that way. I didn't really want to pour a bunch of money into it. Kind of the same approach that I had with Stars Arena, thankfully. Do you think Stars Arena is done for?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Didn't it just start?
You think so? It did just start.
Yeah, it started and then it had an exploit and then, but you know what? There's
What about Friend Tech?
Yeah, no, I think Stars Arena is probably dead, but there's like
it barely started
on Twitter is working on it. He has a pretty big following.
Okay.
And he's actively working on making Stars Arena better, fix it and bring it back.
I've seen that they've been doing a lot of posts, but I haven't gone back into it because
sounds dead.
Yeah, I think most won't. Friend Tech, I don't think Friend Tech is dead. I think the hype is very low right now. Nobody's really talking about it. But yeah, a lot of people made their money and got out, but a lot of I still have the same amount of holders that I had a month ago.
Do you really?
Yeah. Okay. So there's still I think Friend Tech's it'll be around for.
Interesting. I mean, that's a question if people should buy that one too. I mean, if you do, the high risk.
What was very weird about Stars Arena is they went through all the trouble of okay, let's get this audited, let's pay them, let's make sure it's legit. Okay, now we'll relaunch it. Why didn't they do that in the first place?
Yeah,
that was disappointing. A pretty good project at the right time when social finance was kind of all the talk on Twitter, and they blew it because they didn't check their code. They didn't get it audited.
Well, they put their cart before the horse, man.
Yeah, and just went off a cliff.
We'll do it live.
But with that being said, they worked with the hacker. They got 90% of the funds back. I think they gave him 10%, and I was able to go back into my account and get my AVAX off. So that's all very good. I mean, as from a PR standpoint, I mean, they made sure they got audited, they got the funds back, they paid back their users.
Right. It was just that initial shock.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Can I trust them again?
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it on the show, and then I went on the platform after the show. I got on got signed up, shared it, and then obviously I went in first and I saw that the user interface is a little jacked up. Like I couldn't press my profile picture because it was blocked on the phone, and just the layout was kind of wonky. So I gave it a day, woke up, and it got hacked. So that's the moral of that story there.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of doing things right the first time, Cardano, very slow.
Okay, I was gonna say when Cardano SoFi or like some app on Cardano that'll bring people.
I can see it happening.
Bring people into the ecosystem. Why has it not happened yet?
Maybe he's building it slow and making sure it works first.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Potentially. And that's kind of been his mantra. Slow and steady wins the race. That's Charles.
Never goes down, but it might get slow.
That's his moniker right there. What's that?
When I was using Stars Arena, it was great because it's not like you had your MetaMask pop up. Okay, I had to sign a transaction just to tip somebody. Everything kind of worked within the web browser. They're gonna have to do the same thing over on Cardano and figure out how to do that kind of behind the scenes, still keeping customers safe and their funds safe, but not making it a hassle to just interact and send transactions through.
Right.
Because on Cardano, it's fast, but it's not the fastest. And other chains are faster, like XLM.
Yeah.
Avalanche is pretty fast. But again, I don't know if they were doing it off chain and then on chain later. So, I mean, yeah, just like Hannah said, I think it should be coming to Cardano.
Yeah. And then when I say it's slow, I don't say that its transaction speed is slow. I just say that the excitement, the development, the notice, it just seems a little slow right now. It's nothing that I think it's going to miss out on in the next bull run. I think Charles is going to be there, the lights on. But he's been putting out some posts like he's trying to entice me back in because all right, first of all, look at this meme that Charles Hoskinson posted. Finally, Pixar is making some good movies again. This is The Reasonable Man. And for those unfamiliar, The Reasonable Man is a reference to the Killdozer, Colorado, an epic story of a man in his fight against the city council as they arbitrage his land. And sometimes, here's the moral of the story, kids, sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things. So seeing Charles do this, just being outspoken about not only that, but another picture. Look at this.
What in the world?
Is that movie real? Sorry.
Which movie?
The Pixar one?
The Pixar one?
Yeah.
No, that's not. No.
Not real. Okay.
No.
I didn't think so.
That was like a Mid-Journey image.
Kind of sick.
Look, he's got a thick safe though. Like he's in it, man. He knows what's up. He actually used to live right by me.
I like his seed phrases are in there.
What's that?
Do you think his seed phrases are in there?
No, absolutely not. No.
Maybe.
Yeah, he dressed his wolf up as a grandma, she's coming in to hang out with you. But, Pro 2A knows about Killdozer. My God, he's pulling at my heartstrings every day.
And he's into the falconry or whatever.
Yes. And yes, when he went out to Mongolia, he hung out with one of my favorite bands, The Who. For those that don't know who The Who are, it's and then HU. Mongolian heavy metal. Nothing better than a little Mongolian heavy metal as the claws of tyranny seem to come creeping in closer and you might have to fight. So just recommend that music if anyone needs good workout or pump you up type content. Now, let's say we do make just buku bucks. We pick the right Harry Potter, Obama, blah, 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 and we make buku bucks. I am buying an advertisement on the Vegas Sphere. Absolutely.
Oh man.
You can advertise on this thing for $450,000 a day. So yeah, it's a little expensive for a day, but imagine how many people get to see that. And a bunch of people in Vegas, they're spending bucks. I think it's worth it.
What program do they make those in? I know. Because Photoshop's you got the 1080p 4K for the billboards. What do you use that to make that
3%er symbol right there, or Alex Jones' face, or Pepe the Frog, or
it's not a screen, it's actually little hockey pucks.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a bunch of, it's individual pixels.
What?
Wow,
that's got to be so complex.
I've gone deep down the rabbit hole of figuring out this place because I've seen it in person.
Yeah, I was about to say people are obsessed with this thing. When I was in Vegas with a bunch of girls, they were like, we have to see the Sphere, we need to drive by the Sphere. They're like, do you want to go to the Sphere tonight? Deal. And I was like, I mean, it's cool. They make it like a moon or like an eyeball.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Cool.
I think it's worth it. If I can get it, I'm getting it. So what you got, Taco?
What do we think is the first crypto project to advertise on there?
I mean, because imagine flying in on an airplane, you can just see this thing.
Oh my god,
big Doge image or
dude, Doge would be sweet.
Or Pepe the Frog.
Dude, I think Doge. That's a good call, Doge.
I don't own any Doge, but I'm kind of bullish on Doge.
Are you really?
My reasoning is Elon Musk.
Literally, that's all. That's
Elon
That's
Musk,
all.
everyone. That is
a
why.
Horrible inflation rate, though.
As long as Elon's alive.
Beware. Last time I listened to Elon and Doge, I was like, I am not buying this. He went on SNL, and I was like,
that was the top signal.
That was the top. But and then that was like the only coin that I bought after the real bull market started last cycle was Doge, right on that SNL skill, and I knew it was a failure, so I only put like a few $100s into it, and it was at like 60 cents. I remember someone told me, it was like, do you think memes are ever going to go away? I was like, no. So, and I was kind of a few years into it, so I was a little impressionable.
Is it still a meme?
Yeah,
is Doge still a meme?
It's trying to break out of that realm, but I think Doge is in general to the mainstream public still a meme.
I don't own any Doge. Just say I said that, but I don't own it. But
and shout out to Manawak. Manawak on my Twitter. I shared something that is absolutely awesome. Let me go to my profile here. Manawak let me know my Patriot Supply. It actually has a contest going right now where you can win a Resvani. Let's look at a Resvani right now. I shared the link. All you got to do is Resvani Vengeance.
That sounds like a Armani, like Gucci.
Oh, this thing is so sick. Look at this thing.
I've seen this thing.
Wasn't this featured on Mr. Beast video?
It's like bulletproof and stuff.
Dude.
It's like EMP resistant.
It is so sick. So I definitely got
it has a pepper spray that shoots out of the mirrors.
Yes.
No way.
8 seats. I can fit 8 people in this thing. Absolutely awesome. And it's got hangers for all the armor and stuff. So very bullish on that. I'm entered in the contest. I don't care. I'm going to go through my likes here. Let's see. I want to find, he did some shooting at a Cybertruck. Let's see here.
Here I saw that.
Look at this. Look at that. Bam. He shot it with a Tommy gun. He's trying to work it out into the public that the Cybertruck may be working towards bulletproofness, but it is nothing compared to this thing, man. That is just
Someone says explosion proof. Yeah, I think that's what Mr. Beast did. Or
well, it has undercarriage armor on it, so
that's wild.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a real good one. So,
I like it.
For the reasonable man that is, has the same mind frame that I do or Charles Hoskinson does.
What do they go for? I can't remember.
$500,000.
Oh, only $500,000.
Yep, only $500,000. The other option I have, right, and the more reasonable expectation I have out of my current bags is to probably be able to get a new Sequoia with armor on it. I like Toyota. I am a Toyota maximalist. I'm a Toyota maximalist, and I'm not sorry. I'm sorry that you own a Ford. I'm sorry that you own a Chevy. Toyota.
I'm with you,
the
bro.
day I die. You are a Toyota Maxi too. You got the Tacoma. That's
got the Tacoma Gen 3.
Absolutely. It's the only thing I'll touch, man.
My dream car right now is like one of the original FJ Cruisers. They're so sick.
I just sold one. Why didn't you buy mine?
Not that one. Like the old ones.
Oh, the old one.
I want one of those.
Oh, those are sick. Those are like true safari vehicles. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, and in lieu of this awesome news, we are having a sale on our Hit merch. So this sweatshirt right here is on sale for 10% off. Make sure to go check out our Hit merch at hitmerch on Twitter or X and get yourself some XRP swag. Let them know you're dripping in it.
I want the hat.
The hat is sick. It is a very good hat. So make sure to go check it out. Big shout out to Morel for running our awesome store, and it's great to see people rocking the crypto merch out in the public. Get the conversation going with people at the gas station. Stop keeping all this alpha inside of your own brain. Spread the love, man. Let other people make it big in the next bull market too. Get them asking questions. Be outspoken about it. Now's the time to get after it. So, man, I had a lot of news to go through. I really think I made it through most of it, though. Taco, you had some XRP or some NFT stuff that you wanted to talk about here. You want to just give me a kind of a rundown of what's going on in the NFT realm?
Like the cliff notes. It's a new protocol that allows you to pretty much tokenize your NFT, and you can like vault it which then if you want to like repurchase that same NFT, you can essentially purchase any of the vaulted NFTs, not the one that you actually put in there, or you can put it in your safe box, and then you can sell your key if you want to like sell your whole entire safe box.
Okay.
There's a lot more to it, and I go over some more of it on NFT Alpha tonight at 7. But it's new. There's only 4 collections: Bored Ape, Pudgies, Azuki, Elementals, and Utes. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be adding more collections. So essentially to use it, you have to own one of those. But it's interesting. It might revolutionize the NFT industry with adding more liquidity to, projects that don't have a lot of volume. But it'll add that Mew token where you can redeem it for your NFT. It gets complicated, so I wouldn't do it if you don't understand. But it's something new, and I looked into it, so maybe check it out if you're interested.
I like it, man. This is the alpha. Also, I don't know if I have the link to it, but apparently we got the ears of Voodoo Ranger, one of my favorite after hours beverages.
Ooh, you got the pick? You got the pick?
Well, no, I don't have the pick. Where is the pick?
It's a reel on Instagram. And it was just when we were talking about it last week, and they commented Hannah knows or something like that.
Are we bullish on this? Like, Owen seems. Owen, what's your thoughts on Voodoo? Is it yay or nay? Give me a yay or nay.
That's a yay right there.
That's a big yay. All right, then.
Voodoo Ranger pumpkin.
I've never had it.
It's good. Right? People there's a worry that they lose testosterone when they drink a IPA, or that it's too bitter or whatever. That stuff is thick and calorie rich. So, don't be missing out.
Stuff.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And you only need one. You don't need to get all, fat and blubbery off for 12 of them. You know what I mean?
This is true. I can only drink like one of the pumpkin ones, but they're so good.
They are thick. But, I think that's all the time we got for today. We're kind of going over. I was going to show you this very, very controversial video that Hannah just sent me.
I sent it because it's a trend on TikTok, and it the first time I saw it, I was just like, whoa. I'm like, I can't believe it's funny. Like, You've
convinced me we're watching it.
I can't help it, but
pull this up.
I'm like, I can't believe this is a trend. I can't believe this is real.
We're playing it.
I've seen it.
This is going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
If you scroll through that on TikTok, there's so many videos. POV, me and the girlies get drafted, or like me and my besties get drafted, because apparently they were talking about
that's how most the men in the world.
Well, what's interesting on this subject, now that you bring it up, is the military in the United States is no longer advertising their woke agenda. They're now looking for the more traditional focused of military might.
Because that's where all those videos came from.
Yeah.
Bring up Discover Crypto Twitter real quick.
All right, I will. Let's see here. Find it. But yeah, I found it interesting. I think that they're advertising
OT in the basement.
I'm pulling up the cats. Hold on. The kitty cat.
I'm not effing leaving.
Can't make me.
Hold on. Where is it?
All the memes.
Why am I not able to find it? It's not like in the first results for this. I can't. That is really terrible. We can't find that. What's on the Twitter for us?
I got a text saying to check it out.
Oh, really?
Check it out.
Okay. Discover crypto. Let's see what we got here.
I want to see it.
Oh, maybe it's nothing. I can.
Let's see. People.
You spelled it wrong.
Check Discover.
What? Oh, God.
There's a C in crypto.
Don't yell at me, Owen. That must have been why nothing was coming up, huh? That is why nothing was coming up. What do we got here?
I guess I can't even find it on mine.
Coinbase. Oh, delisting of 5 altcoins.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's pull this up. Coinbase apparently is delisting 5 different altcoins. Unexpected decision. CRPT, MXC, QSP, Ren. Ren, that's
nothing
actually,
I hold.
Yeah, I mean, thank God. But Ren, I've heard before. Let's see here. That's not well. Also bottoms. Oh, God, this is not going well. What is Ren? I'm curious about this. Is it a buying opportunity? Is it just not being purchased? What's the deal here? Let's see here.
Oh, I thought it was Render for a second. I was like,
no, not Render. Overall, the year is not looking well. But that's most of the meme coin market and altcoin market. Joy. Doesn't spark joy. That's correct. $42 million market cap. Yeah, I mean, this is probably just lack of interest on their exchange is what I would account that to. So probably nothing huge to worry about. The time frame and the excitedness is later. If anyone has been in multiple cycles in crypto, the excitedness is now, right? But the mainstream regular person, they're going to be excited in mid 2025. It's our job here to bring you the alpha to try to get positioned ahead of that time frame so we can change our financial future. If you're here to do that, smash the like button. Let's get this stream up to 420 likes like we always did back in the day, before everyone got their panties in a twinge, and they just needed all that drama and division to get unfocused while the SEC rams their laws down your throat in the back end. So get your head out of your ass. Guys, thank you for joining me. Shake and Bake, Candle Daddy, Sin Diesel, C90 FTW, Nicole Minnis. We got to make Nicole. Let us know if you want to be a mod, Nicole. You're always in here. Gary's Guzzler, Big Daddy. Crypto Steve-O, Veteran Crypto. Until next time, go out, go touch grass, go interact with your community. Do well. Me and Aaron, we might be cutting trees down in my backyard.
Digging a hole or something.
You know what? You can help me help my neighbor.
Sweet.
That's what we can do. Yeehaw. We can move some dirt for an old man that don't want to do it himself. And it's nice. Brother. So until next time, we will see you on Monday and take care.